This meeting is being recorded.
This will be 45 minutes. So,
Shrikant, I have small doubt.
yeah,
Yeah, Shrikant, can I practice it in Databricks free edition? Like
data
instead of
bricks.
practicing
Yeah, you
ES
can.
and
Yeah, you can. I mean, is that the online compiler or what?
ES is online compiler.
Okay. You can use whatever you want. The thing is, you have to practice it.
Okay. Like, can we expect generative AI concepts also? Like,
Generative AI is nothing but a Python. So
like
first of all, you need to be these Python is like a basics. Okay, if you
yes,
understand the Python, so whatever the topics or whatever the AI, ML or LLMs or NLP or everything which will be taking care of modules. So we are
okay,
going to import those modules. We are going to use those functionalities. That's it. So if you
okay,
understand the Python, that will be great enough to implement the AI and machine learning as well. Arya, you have
okay,
any things to know?
No, I have installed VS Code, so I will practice.
Okay. If you want, you can use the online compiler as well. Let me share my
Oh,
screen instead of can able to see my screen.
yes, yes.
Let me
yes.
know once my screen is visible. For normal practice, you can use this online compiler. Okay.
Okay.
So first of all, Python is nothing but a language. Okay. So how we are speaking like Telugu, Hindi, Malayalam, Tamil, Kannada. So we are going to communicate with the others is nothing but a normal language, right? But if we want to communicate with the computers, that is nothing but a programming language. Okay. So programming is language is nothing but if you want to communicate with the computers or things, so that will be nothing but a programming language. So we have different types of languages, right? Telugu, Hindi. So the same way we have different types of programming languages like Java, .NET, Python, that's it, so on and so forth, right? So if we want to communicate directly, we cannot communicate with the computers, right? So there will be a barrier because the computer will understand only the binary language. I mean, binary is nothing but a 0 1 0 1, right? So we cannot give 0 1 0 1 to computers and let computers do the their work and give the answers in a 0 1 0 1, right? Even though we cannot do that 0 1 0 1 programs and we cannot understand what the computer was given, right? So that is the reason there should be something to communicate with the computers or to understand the computers and to understand the human language as well as to understand the computer language as well. That is the reason in between we have these type of languages. How the Telugu or Hindi or English or Malayalam is there, right? In between one person, in between two persons, there is a language. That is how you are communicating with others, right? So in between computer and a developer or a programmer, there uh, there will be a Python or Java or .NET. That is how we are going to communicate with the computers so that we can do our work and it will give our understandable way. Okay. So this is understood, right? So what the programming language is nothing but
Yes.
okay. So Python, Java, and .NET. So there are different types of languages are there, but the uh, Python will be the easiest way to understand, easiest ways to code, and easiest way to easily adapt that language because uh, it is like a English language. So instead of writing a multiple codes or multiple lines of codes, we can have this. If anyone asks you to learn the language, I mean programming language, every person or every AI or every YouTube person will recommend only the Python because Python is easy to learn, high level language. High level means high level. There are two terms are there: high level and a low level language. High level is basically we can understand what the computer was giving. That is called as a high level. If you are not going to understand, if it is giving as a 0 1 0 1, can we understand that language? No, right? that is called as low level language. Only computer can understand. So Python is nothing but a high level language. We can easily understand. Okay. And Python is nothing but a interpreter language. Interpreter language. Okay. So what does it mean by interpreter language? And also, as I mentioned, Python is high level language. Okay. So what does it mean by high level and low level? You understood, or you want me to repeat it?
No, understood.
Okay. So what does it mean by interpreter and compiled language? So Python is an interpreter language. Java is an compiled language. So I will explain what does it mean by interpreter. Let's say interpreter is nothing but it will check line by line. Okay. First of all, I'll start. This is the start. And let's say x equal to 10 I'll give. Then print of x. Then x equal to x plus 10. X plus 10. Then print of x. Then print of end. So when I run this code, it will go, first of all, it will check the syntax. Even though if we have 10,000 lines or 20,000 lines, is there any syntax error? What does it mean by syntax? Syntax is nothing but a, let's say you are communicating with other person. Let's say if it is a Malayalam. So if you are speaking like uh, a mistakes in a Malayalam, so you can't understand, right? You can't process that, or you can't give an answer, right? So that is nothing but a mistakes in a program, right? So syntax is same as mistakes in a programming. So if you are giving a mistakes in a programming, that is called as syntax. Syntax is basically the programmers, the developers, or whoever are writing the code. So that person did a mistakes that is not understandable by the program, that is not understandable by the Python, that is not understandable, or that will not converted into the binary, is nothing but a syntax error. You understood, Raghuvaran and Arya, what does it mean by syntax?
Yes.
Syntax is nothing but the program or a Python or a binary, it will not it is not a good way to convert into the binary. Like if I'm printing print off, if I'm removing this, so is this a good syntax without closing the parenthesis?
No.
No, right? X 10. This is also not syntax, right? So this is like a it convert. Basically, what interpreter will do is, if I'm doing like this, so it will go to the binary. Like it will convert into 010101 like this. Okay. First it will check the syntax. Okay. Syntax is perfect. Then it will convert into the binary. Okay. Then it will goes to the interpreter inside this. Then it will show in inside the output, right here console. So I will execute. Once you understand the syntax, what does it mean by syntax? So syntax is nothing but if you are not providing, if the Python or interpreter is not understanding, so if you are doing a normal mistake, that is called as syntax. Okay. So is there any mistakes here? No, right? So it is closed and the name is correct, and x equal to we are assigning variables and printing, there is no syntax error. It will run, right?
Yes.
So what does it mean by interpreter? Interpreter is nothing but it will go line by line. Which line it was executed? First this line, then this line, then this line, right? Start, then 10, then we assign the values x plus 10, 20, right? X value is 10, then printing, then end. So Python is nothing but a interpreter language. It will not compile each and everything at a once. It will go line by line. Okay. So is Python skipped any line here? No, right?
No.
So each line, so here x equal to 10. So it is already stored the object. Okay. Then x value is nothing but a converted. X value is x, 10, then 10. It converted into new object here. Okay. So there is no skipping of this line. Compiled language is nothing but it will compile everything at a once and it will give the answer. That is nothing but a compiled language. It will not go line by line. It will compile each and everything like a once. Okay. Then it will give the answer. That is nothing but a Java programming. Java is nothing but a compiled language. Okay.
I have a doubt here.
Mhm.
So any other type of error is there in line number 8, for example, then will it provide result up to 7?
No, it will stop there.
Before that error, it will provide the result.
Yes, yes. Let's say
Okay.
I made a mistake here. Like, let's say print of there is no value of a, right?
Hmm.
So till here, let's print x. Okay. So till here, is there any a value? No, right? So
Yes.
till here, start and 10 value we printed. Start and 10.
Hmm.
Then printed x. There is no a value, right? So a is not defined.
Hmm.
Got it? So it is
Yes.
like you are going to Kerala. In between, there was something happened with a bus or something. So you will not go to, you will not reach to destination, right?
Yes.
So the same way. So it will check line by line, line by line. If anything happened, if anything stuck or something like that. So if bus or if car or repaired, you will not reach to destination. The same way, it will check line by line. If anything happen, it will break. Okay. Let's say till here, you have to give me the answer. So till here, we don't have any errors. So, mm, so I am going to write like this or only one parenthesis. So Raghu and Varun, as per our discussion, so will these will be executed till here? This is a syntax error, right? Is this a syntax error?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Arya, is this syntax error or not?
Yes, it is index error.
It is syntax error, or let's say I'm not taking in a inside a parenthesis. I'm not taking inside a strings. So it is a syntax error. So what do you think? It will execute till here, and we are going to get an error here. I mean
No,
12th line.
no, it won't execute.
So will this execute these lines or no?
No.
Raghu?
Yes, Shrikant.
So will it execute? Let me run. See. So
It's
as
it
I
will
mentioned, Python is an interpreter language. It will go line by line when the syntax, when the problem is there. Like 1 minute. Syntax error. This is not a syntax error. That is not a defined one. So let me run this so that you can understand. See, so this is a syntax error. So previously that value, it considered as a value. There is no value defined. That is not a syntax error. That is a name error, right? So is if it is a syntax error, if it is not a syntax error, it will go to particular line. It will go to that line and it will raise an error. But if it is a syntax error, what will happen? It will, first of all, it will check an entire program at once. Okay. It will check entire program. Is there any syntax errors? If there is any syntax errors, it will not execute even single line also. Got it? So
Yes.
before, if you are writing any programming, you have to make sure that syntax should be correct. If you are not writing in a proper way, it will not allow to execute the program even at a single line. Okay,
Okay.
got it right?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So, and the second one is interpreted in high level language. So basically, whatever we are x equal to 10, what does this mean? These are basically the variables. Okay. What does it mean by variables? Variables is nothing but a, so your name is Raghuvaran, right? So name equal to Raghuvaran. So name is nothing but a variable. Okay. Variable is nothing but a, I mean, here x equal to Raghuvaran or Varun, right? So this is an object and this is an variable. Okay. So you're getting it right. Variables is equal to names. Names equal to object. Okay. What does it mean by object? In this, let's say in our world, everything is an object, right? In space or in our world or in earth, everything will consider as an object, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
So object is nothing but a person, a plant, or a everything will be considered as a object, right? Whatever we are created, whatever things are present in a earth or space or something, everything will consider as a object. In Python also, everything will be considered as a object. Okay, and those object will be stored. We have to give some name, right? So you are a human, you need to have some name, right? So let's say your
Yes.
name is Arya. That is called nothing but a name. But this Arya, what does it mean? Is this a name or age or surname or something, right? We have to give some variable so that it will store those names into the particular variable. That is nothing but a variables. Got it?
Good.
So let's say x equal to 10. Okay. And what is this? This is an object. And what is this?
Variable.
Variable. Variable is nothing but a, if we want to, let's say, uh, in your house, you will collect the water, right? Where you will collect the water? In a glass. So water is nothing but a object. You will store that inside a container is nothing but a glass. So glass is nothing but a variable. So you are storing these objects inside a variable is nothing but a identifier or a variables. Okay, got it?
Yes.
So variables is nothing but a pointing to the value. Name equal to this, mobile equal to iPhone, computer, laptop equal to Dell, right? So the names and the variables are different. Okay, got it?
Yes.
So if I'm changing, let's say x equal to 10, and so without changing that value, I can assign to another variable. Let's say y equal to x. Okay, print of x comma y. So are the same values or not?
Yes.
So what does it mean? We can assign this variable to, we can assign this object to some variable, and this variable can be assigned to another variable, like aliasing, right? Aliasing, you know, right? So basically in films or something, we'll give Srikant alias this one, or Srikant alias this one, Raghuvaran alias this one, right? So we are assigning these values x equal to 10, and these value we can assign to another variables also, without, instead of taking y equal to 10, I can give like this, right? y equal to x.
Hmm.
So did b changed here? I mean y changed here? Both are different or same?
Value is same 10 only.
Value is same, but only name is changed, right? So old value still be the same object. Okay, old value will be the same object, but the variable names are changing. Let's say z equal to y. Am I changing the value?
No.
L will be same, right?
Hmm.
But changing the variable. So what I mean to say is we can change the variable names without changing the values. So if I want to give a swap the values, we can go with this variables assigning. Okay, instead of taking x equal to 10, y equal to 10, z equal to 10 object. So instead of that, we can assign these values to the another value. Got it?
Yes.
And next one is high level language is nothing but a human understandable language. So I'm poor in spellings. Yes, yes, I do. Okay, you can correct because I'm not going to write each and everything. So and Python is nothing but a mm, dynamically dynamically typed language. Dynamically typed language. What does it mean by dynamically and statically language? So have you know, Arya, you know what does it mean by dynamically, or this is the first time you are learning?
First time learning.
Okay. So dynamically typed language is nothing but we are not going to assign a type to the value. Okay. So what does it mean by? Okay. X equal to 10 I'm taking. Okay. Print of type of x. Okay. And x equal to hello. And x equal to true. X equal to 1.0. So here, are we going to assign this is an integer, or this is an string, or this is an boolean, and this is an float? Are we going to assign anything here
No.
No, Sridhar.
explicitly? We are not going to assign
Right.
anything. But Python, by default, it will be considered as whenever we are giving a values, by default, it is considered as what? This is an int object. Okay, and this is an string object, right? And this is an boolean object, and this is an float object, right? So are we giving explicitly this is an integer, this is string? No, right?
No.
But if you go through with the Java programming, you have to mention this is an integer like this. Okay, and x equal to float of 1.0 and x equal to string of hello. So basically, this is nothing but a static language. Got it? And this
Yes.
is nothing but a dynamically typed language. We are not dynamically by default. Okay? Dynamically, we are not going to give a value, give a particular type of language, which type it is. We are not going to give. Statically means explicitly we have to give. So dynamically typed language and statically typed language. You got it, or you have any doubt till here?
Got it.
Raghu,
Shrikant,
you got it, or you have any doubt?
am I audible, Shrikant?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yes, Shrikant. It's a dynamically typed language. We need not to mention the data type.
Yes. So we are not going to give an value. So did we tell Python this is an this type and this is a this type, right? We didn't mention anything. Got it?
Yeah,
I
Shrikant.
hope I hope understand, right, everything, because these are the basics. Without understanding these things, you can't write, or you can't understand the programming, how it is executing, how it is going to uh, run. Okay. Then these are basically the dynamically typed language and interpreter language, high level programming language. Then statically it supports hoops and it's not required. And we're going to explain about the functionalities. Okay. So functionalities, I'm going to just introduce the functionalities. So we are directly going to the functionalities. You are not discussing about the list or tuple or integer, float, range. So these will be connecting in the future classes, because whatever you are going to write in a Python, you have to write it in a. So this meeting will be completed within 5 minutes. Okay. So after this completion, I'll share another link.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to, so the list or tuples, I'll try to explain it in the future, because everything, every Python program, as you know, Arya, everything you are going to write it in a functionality, right?
Yes.
Def of something, and you are going to write something, right?
Yes.
So functionalities, I can explain you in a normal way. List equal to this one and tuple equal to this one, and you can execute like L dot append, L dot extend, L dot insert. But you will understand in a normal way. You are not going to implement a functionalities, but you have to implement. You have to write it in a functionality inside this logic. Okay.
Mm.
So what I will explain is functionalities. What does it mean by functionality? So functionality is nothing but a reusable block. Okay. So basically, what does it mean by functionality is, so let's say functionality, it will take the input, okay, and it will process and it will give the response. Okay. So whatever the given, let's say you went to petrol bunk. Okay. So what he'll do, the person, what he'll do, first of all, he'll give the input, like this is the function. Okay. Function name. He'll give the input of how much? Let's say uh, 200 rupees, comma, 2 liters by default it will take. Okay. What it will do? It will process. It will process. Then it will return final things like completed. Right? So it is, the function is nothing but a block of code which will take the input, which will process it, and which will give the output. It is nothing but a reusable. Okay. So instead of writing each and everything, let's say I will write some program, so that first of all you need to understand the what does it mean by function. Okay. So what does it mean by function? Function is nothing but a reusable block of code. Okay. So it will take the input, it will process it, and it will give the output. Okay. So you understood this one, just an intro.
Yes.
Okay. So function. So you will get to know each and everything. Def is nothing but a definition. We can have customized definition and inbuilt functionalities. What does it mean by functionalities? What does it mean by inbuilt functionalities? What does it mean by customized functionalities? We'll get to know. But this is nothing but a our own defining. Defining. Def is nothing but a define. Okay. So you want to define something, right? So if when you are in school, define this. You when you are writing a problem, define this problem and define this one, right? So you are going to define on your own. Okay. So def is nothing but a definition or a define. So then we can take the function name. Okay, we can take the function name here and input, and we are going to give a input like a comma b. This is an input. Then it will process it. Then we can return a plus b. Okay, so we can give result. What is this variable, right? Variable, right? What is this result equal to? If you are taking equal to, this is nothing but a variable. Okay, and add of, this is where we have to give the actual values. I mean the what we are going to process. Let's say 3 comma 4 we are going to give. Okay, then print the results. So what will happen here and what does it mean by, I'll explain each and everything. So what is happening here? So this is nothing but a reusable as